Is it just you and me today? Is it just you?
Hello.
Hello. Is it just you
It's
and me today?
Dominic is on baby to be duty
Ooh, is baby coming today? Is mom in labor?
tomorrow, I guess.
Oh, ugh.
So podcast 33.
Podcast 33. Like, subscribe, and be nice.
That was your theme. So for those
It,
people who don't follow Mike on social, you should. But Mike's theme starting Friday was he was pissed at the world and then told everyone to be nice.
yeah, I said, like this video, share it to a friend, and be nice. Because there's some trolls out there.
Why would they troll you?
Trolls are just what people that hide behind their keyboard
No, no,
and
no. I said
write
the
nasty
why would
things.
they troll you?
I don't know. It's like if you're online long enough, somebody's going to say something nasty to you.
So you and I kind of had some talks. What are you seeing right now? What do you and I have actually talked a lot more than we normally do.
I know.
Especially a
You
late
must.
one. You called me the other night.
I know. I
That
can't
was
even remember
late for you.
why. Well, because if I have an issue or a question or a concern or a thought, sometimes I call Dave. You're my
So
sounding board. You're my touchstone. You're my stability. You're like,
touchstone, I
Michael,
like that. I don't know if
don't.
I've ever heard that word before.
No, you haven't?
I don't think so.
There's a touchstone where you can like buy these little rocks and you can put them in your pocket. And when you get anxious or something, you can just put your hand in your pocket and touch the rock and kind of rub your thumb on it. Touchstone.
Jeez. Okay.
I'm a psych major.
That's not what I thought we were. That's not what I thought it was.
Okay, but now you took it to the wrong level.
No, no,
No,
I didn't. No, I
no.
didn't go there. No, I
A
just meant.
touchstone is just like, you know what? It's a good touch base. It's a good centering person. You're a good centering person.
Well, thank you.
You're
I
welcome.
That's kind of where I thought we were going, but also
Hmm.
then it was like someone needed a rock in their pocket to feel good, and I was
A
like,
touchstone.
all right, all right, all right. So a quiet week.
Um,
No one was acquired that we know of. Couple things were final. Mr. Cooper acquisition with Rocket was finalized on Thursday.
yep. I
Uh,
was just with a bunch of people here at Lake Sotheby's International Realty, and even though the Compass thing is not going to be finalized until uh, next year sometime, they're not able to touch any franchise agreements. And Lake Sotheby's International Realty is a franchise agreement through Sotheby's International, as are all the Sotheby's offices around the United States. Like down in Miami, it's one Sotheby's Realty. Down in Texas, I think it's called Briggs Morgan or something like that. Briggs.
what do you mean they're not able to touch? What does that
They
mean?
can't, Compass can't break um, into the franchise agreement between Sotheby's International and franchisees. The possibility of Sotheby's becoming a Compass brand is next to zero.
I would argue that because why would they buy them then?
They bought anywhere.
I know, but why? Why?
I don't know why. They want to.
All right. Were these Compass people legitimate people that know what's going on, or are they just non?
Nobody knows anything, but I personally don't see Sotheby's Realty going away, nor Coldwell Banker. That's my opinion.
Yeah, you and I have talked about that. So
Mhm. But I don't think we should talk about it on a podcast.
you're the one brought it up.
Yep. All right. See, I'm in trouble again.
No, you're not.
All right.
I mean, how about this? The point of this podcast, real estate podcast, is not just talk about line five of a purchase agreement,
Right.
arbitration, is to talk about what's going on in the industry for people that may or may not be in the business to know what's going on more. So,
Exactly.
what was your, so I have a couple different thoughts.
Yeah. You wanted to know how the week was, if it was quiet.
Yeah.
It was quiet, but it was also busy because I kept myself busy for the sellers that I represent with open houses on the weekend. I did a lot of social media posting from new videos, and I always tag my sellers in those posts and sometimes even invite them to be collaborators so they can see them and share them with their friends, and it just expands where it goes. And I got some very nice compliments and thank yous and just happiness from sellers because they can see that I'm marketing their property. And I actually even got a direct message through Facebook from somebody saying, Stanton, I saw your video. I want to go see that townhouse. I want to make a move. That townhouse looks great.
Oh,
So
nice. So you
there we
did your
go.
job.
So I actually, yeah, it does pay attention.
Have you,
It does work.
sorry, I was going to change the subject.
Yeah.
Have you paid your dues for 26 yet?
You mean my big end of year bill?
Yeah.
No, I haven't done that. I do that closer to December.
Um, Thoughts on the fact that NAR is charging a $45 assessment?
I haven't even seen it.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know what that is. It's probably to raise money for the lawyers.
Yeah, I just did. If there's 1.3 million agents,
Hmm.
58 million. That's a lot of assessments. I don't know about you, but usually an assessment is like, I don't know, a roof. It's a lot of
We've
squirrels.
got
That's
a
a lot of
guy.
squirrels in the tree for 58 million.
We've got a lot of. We've got a man in our brokerage who's very involved on the state and national level in different committees, and there's some interesting changes coming down the pike for us too um, at the Mar and Matrix. So,
All right. If somebody were to call you
mhm.
and say, "Hey, I'm thinking getting into real estate," what would three things you would tell them that are not widely known?
You don't have a flexible schedule.
Okay.
So if you think that's why you're joining, don't do it. You don't have a flexible schedule, in my opinion. Um, you will be spending money before you make money, if that's an issue for you. And you are basically signing up to basically run your own business because you're an independent contractor. You don't have a job. And when you get your commission, I don't like that word anymore. When you get your compensation for a job completed with a buyer or a seller, all that money and that check does not belong to you. So you need to allocate it properly, first to the tax man, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know. Those are my three things.
Hmm. What would you tell them about the role of the broker or brokerage? Brokerage, not broker.
I would tell them that each broker, although they're similar because they all sell real estate, represent sellers and buyers, they're all different. They have different philosophies, they have different cultures, they have different feels, they have different types of people. And I would encourage the person to speak to several different brokers to determine which one they personally feel the most comfortable being in business with and joining, and don't just jump in to one without doing your due diligence.
Did I ever tell you the story of how I ended up at Keller?
Did you trip in the parking lot and get picked up by someone?
Close. So I was down to two. I thought, okay, I'll, and this was, I mean, there wasn't as much on the internet, so you really had to do a lot of investigation.
Mhm.
So I was down to two, Remax and Keller. And I went online and I put in a inquiry with Remax and Keller. And within 3 minutes, I got a call from Remax. Denver number where they're headquartered. Hey, thanks for blah 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 blah. We have a couple offices. What office do you think you'd be most interested in? And I said, well, probably this one. And they said, great, we'll call you back and set up an appointment. I was like, okay, great. Well, I was in the middle of something, phone rang, no more than 45 minutes later. And I answer it, not paying attention to the number. And they're like, hey, thanks for the inquiry, blah, blah, blah. I mean, it was a Twin Cities number.
Hmm.
Thanks for the inquiry. Sounds like you want to come in and meet. I was like, yeah. They were like, well, how about 10 o'clock? And I was like, sure, that works. So I get the address.
Hmm.
And I'm like, wow, that was really great that Remax got back to me that fast. Like, because it was like 6 in the morning.
Hmm.
So I go and 7401 Metro Boulevard, Edina. I go in, get to the lobby, looking at the thing. I don't see Remax. And I'm like, what the heck? Looking at my phone. I'm looking. The only real estate office I can see that's in that building is Keller.
Right.
I'm going, well, that's odd. So I go up to the third floor and door opens and walk in. I was like, hi, I think I have an appointment. And they're like, oh, are you Dave? And I was like, yeah. I thought I was going to Remax because
Stop it.
honest to goodness, I never
Stop
I
it.
never heard from Remax ever after that first inquiry within minutes until I ended up joining them years later. But I literally went to Keller Williams' office thinking I was going to Remax. Have I never told you that story?
No, I never heard that.
And I thought, well, okay, well, I'm here. I might as well interview. And
Oh my gosh.
oh, and
That's funny.
yeah, and I left. I thought the meeting was great.
Yeah,
And I was like, well, all right, I'll let you know by the end of the day. Never heard from Remax. And like I said 2 seconds ago, never heard from them ever again.
that's so funny. And then
And
you
yeah,
ended up joining them
and I
after,
joined
yeah,
and I joined
you
Keller.
left Keller and went to Remax.
I did, not because of it wasn't because of Keller per se. I mean,
Mm.
I have a lot of good memories and thoughts of Keller and as
Hmm.
Remax, but yeah, I didn't know if I ever told you that story.
Oh my gosh, that is funny stuff.
I probably spent,
I can even picture the nice, super chipper, smiley woman that greeted you at the desk.
yep. And it was just,
She's she's the greatest.
it was so funny because I literally thought I was going to Remax.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny.
And I'm a notebook guy.
That is
And
so
the
funny.
questions that I had written down, that the notebook that I brought in, were all for Remax.
Oh my
And my
gosh.
Keller notes were in the car.
Oh my, so you just ask Keller all the Remax questions.
No, I mean, I kind of went through stuff like I knew the basis of what I wanted. But yeah, anyways, that's how I ended up at Keller Williams.
Wow, that's funny.
Yeah. Uh,
That's hilarious.
how'd you end up there?
Well, I was still very involved in my medical device sales career. Um, Back when I got my real estate license. It was post my big health scare with my heart. And I was at a regional brokerage up here in the Twin Cities with a big red sign.
Oh, you were. I don't think I knew that.
And yeah, for like 2 weeks.
Okay.
Then I realized, you know what? I just can't manage this real estate thing with all my medical surgery and traveling on airplanes and stuff. It kind of hit me like I can't do that part-time.
Hmm, I think I
Um,
knew all that.
and so I basically put my license on ice. I was just like, this is not going to fly. And then when I decided to go back, I was talking to a friend who was at Keller, and he was like, if you want to go back, he goes, just come talk to the office. So I met him and went into the team leader's office over in the office closest to my house at the time. And chatted with them, and that's how I joined.
Hmm.
I
All
was
right.
there nine, and I was there for 9 years.
Ready for rapid fire?
9 years.
Wow.
Yes. Shoot me. Shoot questions at me.
Okay, your possible answers are up, down, or same.
Up, down, or same?
Yep. Okay, you
Oh my
ready?
gosh. It's like
You
an eye
ready?
exam. Yes.
Volume 2025 of your sales.
Down.
Your expenses for 2025.
Same.
Profit for 2025.
Down.
Your projection for 2026 volume.
Up.
V- Expectations for expenses for 2026.
Same.
Profit.
Up.
That would make sense because if your expenses are the same and your volume's up. Would you say 2025? So you said, so how long have you been in the business? 11?
11 years. Yeah.
So take out the first 10, 2025. Volume, you're up.
Last year was my biggest year
So
that
you
I'd
would be up
had.
then, okay, on an average, okay?
But this year I'm not on pace to hit what I did last year.
If you were to decrease one expense for 26, what would it be?
Um, Maybe a website.
Decreasing, you said?
Yeah, like not paying for it anymore.
Okay. Your increase for 2026 expense.
Could also possibly be the website.
Oh, so you might get rid of the website, get a new website.
No, what I'm saying is this is kind of bizarre, but if I am not a spendthrift when it comes to
I don't know
spending
what that
stuff.
means. Spendthrift.
Okay, I don't go chasing shiny objects. So outside of my required expenditures with dues, etc., and my split, I don't spend a lot of money. I have learned how to utilize social media. So if I was to increase spending, it would be most likely to increase social media advertising because it goes to more people. If I was to decrease spending, I have a website through a company called Luxury Presence. And if I had to slash a line item, it would be that because I could just flip to my company's website with my tab and roll with it. But I plan on keeping everything status quo and going even more um, deep into video and YouTube long form.
Hmm. If you had two bucket list things that you would like to do for your company or for yourself, your own
Mhm,
company,
mhm,
and money was not an object,
mhm.
what would you do?
If money was not an object,
I shouldn't say not an object because obviously,
like if I had un like if I had an unending amount of resources that I could just do whatever I want.
yeah, you had another 25, 40 grand laying around that you could throw at your business that wouldn't affect your personal life, your anything. If you just randomly had 25,000, what would you do?
I would go all in on online SEO, and the AI version of SEO apparently is called GEO. So all the online AI crawlers could find things because people are still Googling, realtor near me, but at the same time, they're starting to talk into their phone, into AI, and say, find a realtor near me. And you have to be able to have crawlers finding you on both ways. I would also go deep on getting reviews published, and I would go deep in farming for the client that I wanted to work for. Those would be my three things.
Okay. What would that cost you?
as much as I want to spend.
What would be, what do you get more for 10,000 than you do for 5,000? Twice as much? Twice as much exposure? Like I,
Well, it depends because I'm not talking about buying leads through Zillow or anything
right.
like that because that's not what I do. I've never done that. But I do think it's very, very, very important to have a serious professional over arching online presence that not only has SEO, but has AI. And I would also get myself into a really awesome AI coaching program so I could integrate AI into my business and scale.
Hmm. I find that interesting. Okay.
Okay. All right.
I'm glad I asked it. So, what else?
Yeah. Once again, I'm gonna beat the same old broken record drum, but open houses are very important right now because of the requirement for agents and buyers to be contractually bound with a buyer representation agreement in order for them to show you a house. And I stopped into a couple open houses after mine were done, and I talked with several people at mine. But I stopped in at a few open houses with competitive realtors, with competitive companies because I have some buyers that are out of town, and I told them that I would go to the open house and I would do some video and I would send it to them. And while I was there, I had a good conversation with one of the realtors, and he was very, very in agreement with that because he had 20 groups through his open house that he was running, and you would not have 20 showings in one day.
Wow.
So I think that's a big deal. And it was a property in a really great neighborhood in a great suburb of St. Paul. And it was $775,000 a house. It was built in 1970, which was basically a time capsule for the 70s. And it's going to need, a couple $100,000 to make it, to today. But it's absolutely beautiful. The bones are there. And um,
Sunken living room?
no,
Oh,
very traditional, very, very, very traditional
I love
layout.
myself a sunken living room.
I would mind a sunken living room with one of those. Remember those old, well, I'm older than you, but those fireplaces that had the little chimney
Absolutely.
coming down and they came like this and they were
They're back.
red. I
They're
would want
back.
that. I would want that for like a lake house.
Yeah, they're back.
Oh, I know. The indoor chimenea,
Hmm.
bright red,
I'm taking a chimney out at my house
bright red enamel.
at the Casa Lilja.
I don't know if I would do that, but you do you.
Well, I have to. I shouldn't say I have to, but I am. Well, it's gone. I shouldn't say that.
Oh, you already did it.
I already did it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
Well, then it's done. Did it give you more space?
no, it's an outside thing. No, it won't give me any more space inside. No.
Did it take away a fireplace?
Hmm.
Do you miss it?
Aesthetically, I do outside because I liked it. So I'm redesigning the front of the house.
Are you going to put in a faux chimney?
No.
Okay.
So
You've got a vision and you're executing it.
well, I don't know if I have a vision.
Yeah, you do.
I don't know what I like, but I know what I don't like, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So, yeah, anyways, but all right, that's what I got.
Um,
What do you got for me? Anything?
how was your week?
My week was good. Yeah, we had some closings as a brokerage. We had some closings as individual. I had a really cool one last week.
Mhm.
Um, Older seller. I'm terrible with age. I don't know. Late 70s, maybe 80s. I don't know.
That's old.
And, you run into certain things and, you know, she had a great spirit, super. super, has never sold a house before, has been in this house for a while, and
Mm-hmm.
had to get some stuff signed and asked her if she's ever e-signed, and she was like, "No, but I've always wanted to try." And it's so sweet. Um,
I love that.
yeah, and so we got it done, and it's just super appreciative
Nice.
of of the of the process. It was a long process, 2 years.
Yeah.
Remember we
Wow.
were talking about remember when we were talking about like talking to new agents, this is one that I started a conversation with a while ago, and gave her steps, and she did it, and
Mm-hmm.
great family support, right? Um, the son and daughter-in-law did a tremendous job, and
Awesome.
so, it's one of those when you go and
And
look.
is mom going into like a senior living facility
No, she moved to
to
an,
have friends?
I think it's just an apartment, just
Okay.
smaller. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if she has friends there, or like if it was, to be honest, I mean, maybe this is good or bad. I I try to stay in my lane, and unless I know them, I don't I think you and I have talked about this before.
Smart. The less you say, the better you are. I'm
No.
going to channel my grandfather. I'm going to channel my grandfather on my wife's side because it's her grandpa. But I always say, I don't know who Harvey is, but I love Harvey, and I think about Harvey because Harvey always said, the less you say, the better you are.
Yeah, not that. I feel like I'm being hired again. I feel like a lot of my business is distant spheres, right? So
Okay.
I don't do a lot with my immediate friends. I do very little with my immediate family. It's always, 5, 6, 7 people down the way.
That's smart.
And I feel like they're hiring me to work for them,
Okay.
to be part of their family.
Good.
And even if I have a buyer and a seller and say they're selling their house in Illinois and they're moving here,
Hmm.
unless there's a contingency in place that I need to know more, I try to just stay in my lane. I don't
Cool.
ask a lot of questions. I know she moved. The house was empty while we were selling it. Um,
Well, it sounds like you keep a good professional distance.
yeah, and
Good.
I yeah, like I don't expect to go there for Thanksgiving. I don't
Right.
expect an invite.
Okay.
And how do you say this politely? I don't want to go there for Thanksgiving. I mean, out of all the people,
Well,
she was great. You
you
know
don't
what
need
I
to worry
mean?
you don't need to worry about that being impolite because you have your family and your daughter
No,
and
but you know what I mean. Like,
I do.
I mean, if she lived within a mile of me, I don't think I would ever go over. Like you and I have talked
Well, you
about.
might go over there and say hi and ask her, if she needs anything because you're heading to the store.
Yes, I would go over there to like drop off a wreath or flowers
Yeah,
or something. But my point being is, like 3 weeks ago, I bought a new stove.
right.
I didn't go and like search the guy on Facebook and like him and
No, no,
whatever.
no.
Like he was a salesperson. He did his
Right.
job. I'm happy. The stove works. The house isn't on fire, so that's great.
All right, I got a question for you. Tell me about your geodome. I saw the professional photo that you sent me and it was a twilight. It looked really cool. Are you listed?
No.
Was that your professional photography that you sent me?
Yes, the one picture.
It looks really good.
Yeah.
It looks really cool. It looks like Tatooine.
That's funny.
It looks like a mega Tatooine, like a very rich Tatooine
No, I
person.
was really pleased with the pictures.
Yeah, they look fabulous. And
Yeah.
I really liked that. Okay, I'm going to go off on a limb and say that was a real, true Twilight shot. That was not AI enhanced.
She was there. I don't know. I think it
It
was
did.
real because she was there. I think she was there for 7 hours.
Okay, well, it looked good because
No, I mean it's
I
genuine.
tried, I tried the virtual AI, the virtual Twilights. They don't hold a candle to the real Twilight shot.
Right. No,
and it's worth the extra money to have the photographer really getting that shot of that property
yeah,
with all the lights illuminated because it's beautiful. And
yeah,
you could also see, oh, I could be wrong, but it almost looked like the outside of the structure was shiny.
yeah. She did a great job. I mean,
Yeah, it looked great.
the seller, the other reason I think it's a legitimate non-photoshopped or AI'd or whatever
Hmm.
is the seller made a point that it took her forever to turn all the lights on.
Yeah, there you go. That was a real one. I think we should co-list that.
So 10,000 square feet. So
There you go. Now
yeah.
what you got to do is you got to get a drone going. You got to get a drone video.
Supposedly there's one coming. That's on my list to do today is I know what I paid for. I shouldn't show the
Hmm.
company. I know what I paid for and I don't think I have everything yet.
Okay.
So I
Well,
got to go back in.
that property is screaming for a drone
So yeah.
and the motion drone, showing it around and
I mean, you know what's great about that property as a whole?
it's badass.
It could be a fun winter. There's so much acreage, snowmobiling, ATV, snowshoeing. I mean,
You
can
got to
you
find
imagine?
you got to find a way to um, market that property globally, even just through social media. You got to do it
So,
because that buyer could come from God knows where. You're a pro. You know what to do, Mr. David.
all right. We'll see you later. Have a good
Ciao.
day.
Thank you.
Enjoy your week.
Thank you. You too.
Adios.
Ciao.